I remember the way she fell. Not the fall itself, I was at the store then, but the sound. When I replayed it in my head after the police called about her death, the glass vase on her windowsill had shattered with her. The apartment was empty, old, smelling of dust and medicine. My mother died of a heart attack. Nothing suspicious, nothing unusual. I didn't cry. I just sat in the morgue corridor, stroking my own palms as if trying to rub off something sticky and invisible. In our family, emotions weren't spoken, except maybe through closed doors. A week after the funeral, I got the first call. No caller ID. The voice, something familiar, though I couldn't place it right away. Not because of static or distortion. No, it sounded as if she were standing right behind me. She told me to go outside. Walk 1 block north, right now, she said. I hung up, confused. A dream? A hallucination? Some voicemail glitch? And yet, something made me grab my coat and leave. On the corner of the next block, 2 teenagers smashed the window of a car dealership. I witnessed it. Later, I learned that one of them pulled a knife on a driver who tried to stop them. If I'd gone my usual way, I would have been there too. I didn't connect the dots back then. The next call came at night. I wasn't asleep anyway. My sleep had become a sinking boat full of holes. Mom said, "Take the boxes out of the garage. They're wet." I went down and found boxes of her things, letters, old notebooks, books. Water was seeping in from a rusted pipe. If I hadn't moved them, everything would have been destroyed. Something shifted inside me. I started fearing sleep, not because of nightmares, but because I might miss a call. I kept the phone nearby, even hung it in a plastic bag on the shower hook. The voice never changed. It was Mom, just as I remembered her. Not sick, not broken by time, but focused. Dry, cold, confident. Her instructions grew sharper, clearer. She never explained why. Go out the back door. Don't answer when the neighbor calls. Stand in line at the bank at 10:30, not earlier. And each time I listened, something happened. A fire in the next building. A gas leak quarantine. A car slamming into the bus stop where I usually stood. I started keeping a journal. I needed control. I thought if I mapped it all, I could predict what came next. But it never worked. Her voice followed no logic. Only warnings, torn from context. I told no one. Who would believe me? I didn't believe it myself. Then came the voices in the walls. Not like madmen here. No, these were faint, fragmented, as if someone was whispering on the phone in the next room. But I lived alone. I checked everything, called electricians. Nothing. The calls kept coming. One night stands out. She called at exactly 3 a.m. Turn off the lights. Don't go near the window. I lay in the dark, heart pounding in my throat. Someone walked past my window, slowly. No flashlight, just a silhouette. They stopped, stood there for a long time, then moved on. The next morning the police came. My downstairs neighbor was missing. I began fearing the light, fearing home, but fearing to leave it too. The city itself began to change. People stared too long. Heads turned after me. I couldn't tell if it was day outside or just the lamps. Then Mom said, "Tomorrow will be the last time. After that, I can't call anymore, but you must do exactly what I say." I sat in the dark. Night. At 4 a.m., leave the house. Walk down Bates Street. Don't look at anyone. Don't stop. Walk until you see the house with the red lamp. Go inside. Whatever is there, don't talk to it. Just sit, wait. I'll be near, but you won't hear me. I agreed. I had no choice. These calls were my heartbeat, my pacemaker. At 4 a.m., I left the house. The city was strangely empty. Not deserted, but dead. Cars idled with no drivers. A dog sat by a bus stop, motionless. I walked Bates Street. It stretched forever. No one stopped me, but eyes followed. Reality itself bent sideways like a net being pulled. I found the house. The lamp was not red. It was flesh-colored, pulsing dimly. I went inside. The door didn't creak. There was only one chair and darkness. I sat. My heartbeat drowned out everything. Then someone entered. I didn't look. I barely breathed. He sat across from me, silent. Mom never called again. And here's the strange part. I'm still here. Days have passed, or months. I'm not hungry. I don't sleep. I can't stand, though I'm not tied. Something pins me down. The one across from me never moves, but I know he's there. Sometimes I hear him breathe. I think about Mom. Why was she helping me? What was she saving me from? And then, today, I looked. I lifted my eyes. It was me. Not a reflection, not a double. Me. Same jacket, same scar on the jaw, but the eyes empty, scraped clean. I understood she wasn't saving me. She was saving herself, the part of her still inside me. She led me here so I would disappear and that fragment of her could survive. Now I'm a trap for myself. And the voice on the line, it wasn't rescue, it was hunting. Time here is meaningless. The thing across from me isn't me, yet only me. Not a clone, not a doppelganger, just me, stripped. A photo that started to pulse with life, but hollow behind the eyes. At first, I thought it was punishment, that Mom knew I had done something terrible, that I deserved this loop, staring at my own face, unsure which of us was real. But later, I realized I'm not the first. Around this house, there are others. Windows dimmed, figures inside, each one staring at themselves, their own hollow version. I tried to move, scream, but every movement here is like screaming underwater. This world is thick, plaster heavy. I'm allowed only to sit, watch. The calls stopped, but other sounds remained. Thin, whispering rhythms. Sometimes familiar voices, sometimes muffled ones, like old tape recordings, decades degraded. And I understood. This is not the afterlife. This is the antechamber. A waiting room, before something is erased, transferred, used. I began remembering things I had never lived. Childhood in a house I didn't know. A woman's voice I loved but never met. Another name. Dreams of other cities, other windows, other doors. I am not alone inside myself. And then today, the thing across from me moved for the first time. It's my fingers clenched into a fist, then relaxed, eyes focused, and I knew he is coming back, or replacing me. Maybe that was the point all along. I can't stop it, but I feel the mechanism turning. Each tick makes me less myself, more him. But there's one more thing. Yesterday, or maybe an hour ago, I heard the phone again. No phone in the room, but the sound was the same, sharp, dry like an old landline. The darkness flickered with images. I saw my apartment without me. I saw the door open, a woman entering, unknown, holding a notebook. She sat on my couch, listened, picked up the phone. A short exchange, blurred, then she nodded at me, though I was outside the frame, and answered, "Yes, I'm listening." The images vanished, but I understood. Mom no longer calls, because now they call through me. I am the channel. This place isn't a trap. It's a device, an antenna in the head. All of us here, we're transmitters. Our faces, our minds, our presence, just shells pushing through someone else's will. Not divine, not demonic, just other, deeper. From the first call, I stopped belonging to myself. And now, staring at my own shadow, I feel my voice breaking back into reality. Somewhere out there, someone hears it. Leave the house, walk 1 block north, and I know that soon he'll be here too.
My name is Grace. I'm an archivist. I work with personal papers, letters, documents of the dead. People rarely understand that these papers hold more truth than memory. Paper doesn't forget. Paper doesn't twist. Sometimes it keeps the dead speaking longer than we do. When I found his notebook, it was already covered in dust. The apartment had been listed for sale, his belongings packed for removal. I always check the boxes before disposal. Sometimes legal papers turn up that change inheritance cases. At the bottom, a notebook, handwritten, tight, nervous script, no dates, just observations. Notes about the voice, about his mother, about the double, the room with the red light. At first, I assumed fiction, mental illness, schizophrenia, paranoia. But something in the language, too familiar. I couldn't put it down. The entries ended abruptly. The last page, just 1 line. "Now the line is yours. Don't hang up." That very evening, the call came. No number. The voice wasn't male or female. It spoke as if from inside my own thoughts. "Your turn. Walk 1 block north. Don't ask, don't write, don't analyze." I didn't listen. I hung up. That night I woke to find my front door ajar. Nothing stolen. Lock untouched. But on the hallway floor, bare footprints. Small, childlike, leading to an empty black telephone, set neatly on the rug. In the morning, I checked. That man was gone, vanished. The apartment stood, but its owner had disappeared. Neighbors said they last saw him a week earlier walking toward Bates Street. People go missing there sometimes. The next day, the call again. The voice, calmer. "You feel it already, don't you? The walls thinner, reflections lag, footsteps behind you when you're still. And it was true. Delay began haunting me, echoes. I closed my eyes and saw a room I'd never entered, a chair, someone sitting in it, and they knew me. Another call. You're reading his journal. Good. It's just a shell. We're all just shells. Transmitters. Like him. Like the mother. They send us instructions. We carry them. But each of us can either pass it on or become the source. That was the key. I understood why the voices speak through us. They have no voice left. They're remnants of something once real. Memories, consciousness, shadows, and they survive only if someone listens. Each call is a breath. Ignore it, they vanish. Answer, and they enter. If you've been chosen, you either transmit or you're consumed or replaced. I don't know why they chose me. Maybe because I read the dead. Maybe because I seek them. But now I know. Behind every call is something larger. Not demons, not spirits, just leftovers, mechanisms, old programs in a broken network between worlds. Last night, I wait. The phone is silent. And that is the worst part. Because silence means someone else has already answered instead of me. And when I look into the mirror, I fear I'll see not my own face, but his.